Okay, so today we're working back on the Pirate Mountain, and I think what I would like to do is get this area kind of solidified. As you can see, like, stuff's just barely, like, in fact, this whole thing is just sitting there, because I just wanted to kind of get a rough shape of it, just to get an idea. And so I think it's time to actually get that solidified to see if I need to order some parts and stuff with Black Friday coming up, and Lego's doing the double point sale. It's a good time to pick up some stuff on Pab and things like that. So I definitely want to figure out if I need to order things like burps, because I think I can get burps on the Pab for as cheap on as they can on Bricklink. Also, like bricks, slopes, all those types of things, it's just as cheap to get them off Pab than it is on Bricklink. And so I like to at least know what I need and kind of be aware of that so that I can get those things ordered when it's appropriate, such as double points. And I think there's some pretty cool gift with purchases coming as well. So I'm going to get this fished out of here carefully and taken over to my desk so that I can more easily work on it. And we're going to get this kind of solidified, tiled over, or plated over so it's all dark bluish gray. And get this worked up a little bit into something a little bit more stable, because it's really not stable. I mean, like, look, that's literally just like chilling there. So I want to get this to where this is all like plate. Oh my gosh, it's not even. It's literally, it's literally just sitting there. I don't know how this is gonna get to my desk in one piece. That's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna video that because I don't want to see you crying, or I don't want you to see me crying on camera. So. We're going to do this off camera, and I'm going to move it on over to my desk. Made it to my desk, and this really gives you a perspective of kind of how big this thing is. But made it here in one piece, mostly one piece. And one of the other things I forgot I need to do is I need to take this part a little bit and be able to make a little plateau in here so that the cave entrance for this side, you know, obviously this goes all the way through. The cave entrance for this side needs something that I can build off of a little bit to kind of at least get a little bit of a view that it does go back in and around. So I need to do that while it's sitting on my desk here as well too. So definitely going to need to pull out some of this, change this over to Duplo and kind of do a bridge across here or something to get that all to fit and give me something to support on. So that's also up probably first on the docket, because all this is going to get knocked off if I have to do that later. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Let me get that set in there, and then we'll start in on this mess here. All right, so this is starting to look more like a mountain and way more stable. So I got as far as I think I want to go on this. I'll show you some details, but I think the next step I want to do is I want to actually stick this back into the city and just kind of place it and see what it looks like to make sure it still looks okay. And make sure the scale's fine and all that. I do know that my kind of grouping lines up because, again, the whole thing's modular, so I was able to pull this piece over and check to verify that this worked out. I cleaned up this little area just a little bit, just so that when it slips in, it's actually with the rest of the detailed part, because, again, that's the part that's kind of, the part leading up to this is starting to get looking pretty good. So I wanted to make sure I had that all good. Lights. And obviously a little bit of foliage starting to go on there just because I had to kind of like close it all in. So I needed to do that as I was going. I don't have all the wiring and all the pieces to light this up fully yet. Because I want these all to flicker. And that part's coming. It's in the mail. Should be here later on in the week. So I don't have that ready to go. And obviously, like, there's lots of holes here yet, right? But that's because, you know, obviously, as you've seen, like with this, like I cover over so much of it, so it's not really a problem. Or if you've seen the bottom half of this mountain, you know I cover this with so many slopes and stuff. So, like, I'm not really worried about the holes. I just need this to be, like, structurally sound, and it is. So it's actually full plate the whole way across, full plate the whole way across, full plate the whole way across. I need to order a couple more of these because one's going to go right there, and then I'll put one that's actually the correct color up here on top because that's actually the old dark. And actually what I might do is I might turn them on their side maybe and do two. I don't know. We'll see when it actually comes. So obviously those need to come, and then I need to get more because I still have the back side of the mountain. So, you know, this is kind of where the ominous isle sits, and then I still have this side of the mountain to do, which I haven't even began to touch yet. I have that one platform that's like this level, but I still need to do like the bottom half of that platform too. So I'm going to need a lot more burps. Oh, and that doesn't even account for the wall across the bottom of the ledge. So I'll show that more when I get over there. But let's go ahead and pick this up. This is all on a mills plate. This does move pretty well, actually, all things considered. It's heavy. And, you know, obviously I have a lot more weight to add to it. So I think this is going to be a pretty heavy piece once it's all done. I hope it all holds together. But let me move it back into the city, and I'm actually going to push it back into place, and we can take a look over there. And then I can show you some details from the far back view. So let me get this moved, and we'll take another look at it. Okay, so I got it moved over, and it actually moved really easily. I'm very thrilled with how easily that moved. I have made a very critical and crucial and maybe a little bit stupid error. The other thing I have learned in the last 5 minutes is that this thing is a pain to put together way back there in the back. Because there's all this like lower stuff all kind of interconnects very carefully. And so there's like a very certain order, and that order is not conducive to where it's at. So that kind of sucks too. And what I've basically learned is that if I need to pull this thing out, I need to pull the whole thing out, assemble it out here, and then push it kind of back as one unit. And that will especially be true once I start running wiring through and getting lighting and stuff all through it. But my problem is this piece needs to slide back in, and I have now blocked it off by that stuff right there. So that's not going to be a very fun fix. So I guess I got to fix that, and then we can slide everything else back in. Aside from that, it was all going smoothly, except for that. So I need to fix that. Wow, this thing is going to be an absolute monster. Okay, so I got it slid back in there. I learned a whole bunch of things, including I'm going to have to be very careful about wiring and where my connection points are and how that all pieces together. Maybe to an almost insane level of detail, which is not really what I had envisioned, but I think it's just going to be unfortunately the way it is. I think the other thing that I've learned is that I'm going to have to assemble it out here and then slide it as one huge piece back there. And I don't think that's going to be too difficult, but I do think I need to make some smart connection points amongst all the pieces that is pretty secure so that I can move it. And by move, I mean slide, not pick up. Slide it as one giant unit, because otherwise it's just unwieldy and hard to kind of just maneuver around and get in place and all that. So that was a huge learning moment for me. And definitely better to have learned now than later on. But otherwise, I think this is pretty cool. I think this is really going to be a great focal point. Let me step back even further in the city so you can kind of see. So obviously this will be all bay. There's plenty of room for pirate ships. And, you know, obviously the rest of Ominous Isle can fit over here. There's that other section that I talked about a minute ago that I still haven't even started on at all. I mean, it's literally just the pieces there. That's that kind of like back portion. It's kind of hard to see, but that's that kind of back portion that will need something. So that's what that is. And obviously that's not even started. So that's a thing. And then, you know, I still got, 18,000 slopes to put on this thing. And that number might not be that far off, scarily enough. But anyways, I think this is really going the way that I want it to. I definitely wanted it to be a focal point. It needed to be something that was a nice anchor to kind of like this side. Like this side, excuse the mess. This side has El Dorado kind of as like the anchor point going across the bay. I think this is a great anchor point for kind of this half of the city. And I think this is going to be fun to take to conventions when I actually get it done and movable and able to take places, But yeah, this is going really well. So anyways, I got the little cave entrance all done. That little guy in there, he lights up. That's cool. You know, you can see the pathway coming down here. Obviously, the pathway works its way all the way down here. I'm going to put some torches kind of along the way as well to kind of light the pathway. I got a cannon in there. I have my firing cannons coming real soon. And I think that one I am going to do firing because I think I might put a little Imperial, I don't know if it'll be a ship or something here. Maybe like the little, like clipper type thing that came with the El Dorado, the little ship. Maybe kind of sneaking in here maybe. Or maybe it'll just be some like rowboats of pirates and then the cannon can shoot at them. But anyways, and then obviously I got this kind of fixed up and you know, you can see right in there, there's the pirate. And I think that'll be a nice kind of added little touch because you can't really see him unless you kind of like lean over the table and get a look in. And again, I'm thinking about this as far as taking it to conventions. You're going to get much better angles at conventions than you are here because obviously just the way that my room is, you can only kind of like lean over the table so far. But if like I take this square, you know, to a convention, you might actually be able to see kind of into the side of it because I might put it on the angle or something. I don't know. But anyways, you know, it's good to kind of have a little bit further detail back on in there. And then so the next couple steps that I need to work on is just continuing adding slopes and foliage kind of up through this way. And then just kind of working my way up. I need to kind of figure out what scene. So obviously I got these couple little like landings. And I can kind of work a pathway all the way up. And actually, now that I'm seeing it, I was originally going to cover that up, right, with another one of those top pieces. And there's an old pirate set that has like a rollaway skull. And that might be really fun to put right there at the top. So I might do that. But we'll see. That's a long way off. I got, you know, 17,000 slopes before I get to there. But definitely something to kind of be thinking about because I think that would be really kind of fun to have that. I would like to get a couple of the like islanders along the side here maybe. You know, kind of doing some islander things. A couple of those other kind of vintage pirate sets worked all the way up here. Like, here's a pretty good spot for something. There's a pretty good spot for something. And obviously the top is a pretty good spot for something. So definitely thinking about some of those old, small little pirate sets and maybe what I can work in there as well. But this is really cool. This actually made me really excited for it because for a long time it's just been kind of chilling here. I've been kind of dinking around with it, you know, slowly adding slopes. And then, you know, obviously that was just kind of like pieced together. But this really kind of starts to put it together in my brain, what it's going to look like. And it's definitely got me motivated to put some more work into it. Make sure you like and subscribe to make sure you stay tuned for details to come on this or more to come on this because there's obviously tons more to come on this. And thank you for watching. Thanks, y'all.